How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Camber Energy. This multi-day runner is on a tear. It's seeing a lot of volume. There is a lot of demand. And of course, I'm going to put this video out to keep you guys inside the loop. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance and what we can look forward to with this multi-day runner, especially since we do have the quad witching that's going to be happening tomorrow. And then afterwards, we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information. We want to know, are shorts still continuing to be heavily vested in this play? The reason why this is important, because it will have an impact on the stock price. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know, are institutions continuing to purchase shares? If we see a continuation of this, of course, this is a bullish signal, and we can look forward to actually seeing this run continue. And then when all of that is done, I'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Camber Energy. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $1.72, being up 4.88%. On the low, it tested $1.56, and then on the high, testing $1.87. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 271.811 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 249.188 million shares. So we continue to have above average volume, and this is exactly what you want to see from a multi-day runner. The chart we're using is actually the 1-year daily chart. So when we see the RSI down below, you can see it's right around 85.51. So yes, it is in the overbought territory, seeing a good amount of momentum. And when we take a look at our chart, we can see we're above all of our moving averages here, which is the 50-day, the 100-day, the 21-day EMA, and as well as the 200-day. So this stock has continued to rip it. So one thing that I was talking about in the previous video, we wanted to see how well it could hold up these areas of support right here around this 150 level, the 140s and so on. And we're seeing a continuation of that. We actually seeing higher levels of support from the chart, but we held down $1.56, and then we ended up seeing a high on the day of $1.87. So one of the things I want to look for as far as going into tomorrow, we need to be able to pass this $1.87. So passing this $1.87 can bring us to a strong move, so where we can get to $1.97. You can see we do have a gap here as well. So having resistance at this area of $1.87 will set us up very well. And I know a lot of more traders will want to get into this play and push it up to the $2 level. So that's just one thing that you want to keep in mind. But one of the things that I also want to let you guys know about, whenever you're seeing increasing levels of support, so look at this here. So just taking into consideration the September the 9th, right? We had support here at $1. Then we said formulated, now we have support here around $1.20. Then we talked about recently, we had some support at $1.40. And now, as you can see here, we had support at $1.50, and it looks like we're setting up going into tomorrow to have some solid support here at $1.60. So as far as for tomorrow, if we don't get to $2, then of course we're going to want to look forward to seeing how well it could hold up, whether it's at the $1.60 range or closer to the $1.70 range. So let's see what happens going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Camber Energy. Let's scroll down the page. We can see the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 11 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate is at 10.16%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 14th, it was at 56.62, and now for the close of the 15th, which was yesterday, it's at 61.50. So this play continues to have short squeeze potential due to the fact we have a lot of shorts who are vested inside of this play. They're saying, hey, the price of this stock needs to come down. We are going to double down. We're going to go even further. But you know what? At the end of the day, if we end up having more buying pressure and having the volume that we've normally been having, we could see some strong moves to the upside because we want to see that $2 level. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Camber Energy. So we can see on the inflow is at 87.17, and then on the outflow is at 85.33. So we ended up having an inflow day. So on the large, we had 27.34. On the medium, we had 46.22. And then on the small, we had 13.61. On the outflow side, on the large, we had 30.07. And on the medium, we had 43.50, and then on the small we had 11.76. So you can see we ended up having a surplus on the inflow side at the medium and as well as on the small, but we ended up having a surplus on the outflow side since it was at 30.07 versus 27.34. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, September the 16th, being at 2,724.32 is pretty much just taking the difference. But one thing we could see clearly, institutions are loading up on shares. Yes, we did see some selling. Of course, there's going to be some profit taken. Everyone already knows that already. We already know how volatile this play is. We already know how many day traders are also inside of this play. So for them to take profits, no surprise. I know I have to say that again, but I want to be clear. Now, for the next thing that I'm going to be looking out as far as going into tomorrow, knowing that institutions are continuing to purchase shares at the open, we want to see it hold up areas of support like I talked about inside of the technicals. Because even if one area breaks, you want to see, hey, will it be able to use the other area and actually gain some upside from there? So now let's jump into the final thoughts and I'll go over some more details, especially in regards to the volume and levels to look out for. So for my final thoughts for Camber Energy, I'm excited to see how well it's going to perform going into tomorrow. We do have the quad witching, which is known to be a very volatile day inside of the market. So we want to see how are you going to match up with that. Another thing also to take into consideration, when I went on Fintel, you could see from the short interest alone, shorts are heavily vested inside of this play. So you already know what it is. They want to see that stock price come down. But if we have volume coming into the stock, especially being well over 200 million, then of course I want to see a move to the upside. And where I want to see us actually get to is above that $1.87 level. I want to see us push, make that move to the $90s and then touch $2. And of course, I'd expect some profit taking and some selling pressure in those particular areas. But what we want to pass is $1.87. We are doing very well. We are seeing increasing levels of support. So just taking everything into consideration, as far as also taking a look at the order flow, things are looking good. But I want to make sure that you guys do your homework and you do your due diligence if you are inside of this play. Whether you might be swinging it because it has been running for quite some time, or whether you might be day trading it. Of course, inside of the Discord, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this play and then letting everyone know as far as for the daily watch list, because I watch a lot of stocks in the pre-market, and CEI I've been watching for quite some time. But what I'm really trying to communicate with you guys, if you're in this play, have a strategy and also be attentive, especially if you don't feel the most confident or you feel kind of nervous going into a position. Don't even touch it. You should be able to push that buy button and feel confident. If you're feeling unsure, then of course do not get involved whatsoever. And I'm going to say it again, the stock market is not a get rich quick scheme. I want to make sure you're aware of that, you know that, and you write that down somewhere and constantly remind yourself. One of the best ways to dominate inside of the stock market is to be patient and also make sure you execute your strategy from your homework and as well as your due diligence, and you should see some success. So I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.